Everyone, we are excited for another show this week of Liondesk Live. This week, we're going to be learning about 4 ways that you guys can grow your real estate business. But the cool thing about it is I have a special guest today, Ruben Garcia. Welcome, Ruben.
Hey.
Hey, and I've known him for, a while now through Liondesk, actually. We, worked together. He did a Takeover Tuesday last year where we followed him as a real estate agent for the day. So he'll be sharing today his insights, what's worked, what's going to help you grow your business. And before we do that, though, let's learn a little bit about Ruben. Ruben, how long have you been in this industry? And I know that you work for real estate. You're a real estate agent, but for eXp Realty, right?
Correct.
Right. So let us know a little bit more about you before we dive into those topics.
Okay. Been in the business for about 6 years or so. Started at a large franchise, was there for about 6 months, realized they wouldn't allow you to brand yourself. So I left. I went to a company that was you were allowed to brand yourself, another large franchise. Grew it, helped grow a team there. It's for our first year, and about 6 months after that, became the team leader or the CEO of that office. We ran it for 2-ish years, broke all-time records. It was a lot of fun. Then moved into the productivity coaching program, ran that out of that office and another office, and then left there, and then went to eXp, where we've been here for 2 years.
Nice. And how is it? You've been based out of North Carolina the whole time, right?
Correct.
Nice. Okay, so you guys, before we start diving into his master brain that he has for real estate business growing, what we're gonna do is I want to ask him a couple questions. But remember, you guys, ask all the questions because today we're gonna try something new. I'm always telling you guys, try something new because that's the only way you're gonna grow. So today, while he's speaking, ask all the questions. We'll be answering them right then and there. So we'll be going back and forth instead of waiting till the end. Okay, guys? So, Ruben, how long have you been using Liondesk?
For about about a little over 2 years, I want to say.
Nice. And is there a certain feature that you constantly use, or you and that your team use, that gets you guys going every day?
Yeah, I mean, we run this thing every single day, 7 days a week, and this is something I teach in eXp world too, about the CRM. Although we get another one, I talk about this one. But yeah, we one feature that we love is being able to set up all the text messages that we have, because we run 100% text messages in the morning, setting up everything that we need in terms of communication, of contact attempts is what we call it. So text messages going out in the morning takes about an hour to do, but prepping that in the morning and having a system that allows us to prep all that work and communication that's about to be sent out for the day, for us, is awesome. At a great price too, by the way. That's something we looked at. So that's what we do.
And you guys, I did not ask him to say that, so that's pretty rad.
She did. No, she didn't. But that's to be honest, that's what had us look at it first, was the price.
Yeah.
And then reviews, we checked out reviews were good. And then we went back and we haven't let go of it since. So.
Hey, actually, again, we're going to try it out. Robert is actually asking, what success rate of text messages do you have for your team?
Great question. So we run the ratios. We run contact attempts to contacts made. Contact attempt to contact made ratio is 2 to 1.
Nice. And is there a specific time? Like, I know you have them all segmented. So all your audiences that you send text to, do you have them, segment them in Liondesk by, seller, buyers, so that way you can mass send to multiple people to that audience specifically?
We don't. That's something that we're obviously diving into, and we're learning a little bit more about the power of tags. But we run licensed and non-licensed people at the moment, and clients. Obviously, we treat our clients a lot different, and people within our organization, those also have a tag to separate the type of information that goes out via mass text.
Now, you said something I was actually curious about, licensed and non-licensed. So then, is it for recruiting?
So, yeah, that's a great question. So, yes and no. The way that we do this is, for the non-licensed people, we have these follow-ups that we do. We have 3 call to actions, which is ask for business once a year, ask for, we'll just do this, side hustle. So whatever it is, we run short-term rentals. So we're talking about those every 6 months, and the talent. So we're asking for talent. Now the talent and the ask for business looks completely different for a licensed and a non-licensed person. Ask for business, non-licensed is asking for business. Hey, who do you know? Looking to buy or sell or whatever. For license is AFR, which is ask for referral. So it's a different conversation, and then talent is too, right? So we're looking for people who, on non-licensed, we're looking for people who are interested in getting into real estate. Conversions to talent is 100 to 1. So we need to be on this constant search for more and more talent. That conversation looks different between licensed and non-licensed as well, because when they're licensed, obviously they want talent first before us. So the verbiage is a little different. It says more like, if they're just not a good fit for you, would you mind throwing them our way? We'll see if they're a good fit for us.
Nice. And is there a, other than text message, how do you recruit and get people to come, to join your team? I know we're going to dive into more like the 4 ways, but what is like the number 1 tip you can, share with us?
Consistency and text. I made it a point to use and find a CRM that would run, and don't get all weird on me, but would run if I died. The whole idea and the whole reason we built this whole thing, and some of the ways of growing a real estate team that we're going to talk about, there's one here that operates if you die. So we run 100% text messages, because if I'm dead, I can't make phone calls. So we run 100% text messages, and consistency every 9 months. We're reaching out and seeing who do they know in the field that's looking to get into real estate as a career.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's interesting. You do it every 9 months. Is there a reason why you do every 9 months?
We know the conversion. Yeah, and we're still testing it, right? We used to ask for it more, but it started to get a little annoying. So we feel 9 months is that sweet spot. If it changes, it changes. Just like you did today, and you changed on the fly to see if you can get a different result. We do the same.
Cool. Yeah, that's, I think, something that we all need to realize is that whatever you do, you're always testing no matter what. Because social media algorithms are always changing. People, the way that they answer, phone versus text messages, sometimes you see that video works. So the only way you're going to realize what works for you in your business is really testing it. So I know, Ruben, you do text. Do you guys do video text or just regular text messages?
Regular for now, because video, it would creep him out if I, again, died. And then I was like, hey, what's up? Back from the dead. And probably should do something like that. That'd be interesting.
That would be hilarious, but also true. Yeah. I totally agree.
All right, that's happening.
All right, so you guys, we're going to dive into the 4 topics. Remember, ask your questions. I'll stop Ruben, and we'll try to answer your questions right then and there. Okay, guys? Ruben, share with us the 4 ways to grow your business in the real estate business.
You got it. All right, so today we're going to talk about the 4 ways to grow a real estate team. Back at a larger franchise that I was at, we would talk, and this is I'm going to roll right into the number 1, or at least one of the ways that we're going to grow a real estate team. At the larger franchise I was at, this one way was pushed a lot. It was the Bible there. I mean, that is something that when you built a real estate team, you better have built it this way. Okay. And I'm about to go over it. These other 3 ways, rolling into the 4 ways to grow a real estate team, all of these need a database. If you don't have a CRM or a database, literally, and she didn't tell me to say this, this is something I teach and teach and teach and teach and teach. When a lawyer sells their practice, they sell their database. When a pediatrician sells their practice, they're selling a database. So none of these will work if you don't have a strong database like Liondesk that's going to help you scale. Okay. So that being said, number 1, go.
No, we have a question. What is your favorite text for listings?
So we don't specifically ask for listings. What we do know is that if I could, so there's a saying out there that goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And if we could have a conversation, a systematic conversation throughout the year showing that we care, because we do care, they will give us referrals. And at this point, we don't care if it's a buyer or a seller, we're going to run that person. But once we get that new referral, now we roll them into our follow-ups of the 3 call to actions along with life updates. And then we may find through that referral, we may find a listing in there as well. So we don't shoot for just one. And maybe we need to do better at that. But at this moment, we don't. We just ask for the business. Great question, Robert.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. That was a great question. There's another question, actually, before we dive in.
Yeah.
Let's see. How many CRMs did you test till you decide Liondesk was the one for you?
Yeah, so three or four. One was really, I liked it, and I'm not gonna say the name of it. I liked it, but the cost, it was too much. Actually, more than four. Actually, the cost was too much. This one, which I'm not gonna say the name. I really want to say the name, but I won't do it. Way too much, and we decided, you know what? Net is more powerful than just saying we have this system, so get rid of it. Another system was too much, which is very similar to this one. What was it? Oh, another, and a free one. A free one, but it just didn't have everything that Liondesk had, or the support, guys. Like the support, and they hear from me all the time.
Yes,
I'm telling you,
yeah, that is true.
So the support's there, guys. And running those four-ish, and probably a little bit more, the support, the price, and what we needed to do. We stuck with Liondesk ever since. Rolling back, here's the 4 ways. Right here, or is this one? Screw it, it was this one. Right here is called the 7-level system. Now, most of you guys may already know what this is. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, or the Red Book is what some of people call it. This is the way you grow a real estate, one of the ways you can grow a real estate team. And what it is basically is you're out there hustling, you're getting busy, you do really well, so you're getting more referrals, you start to grow the business. All right, now you need leverage. And what the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, or the 7-level system, says is, number one, this is you busy. You do everything. You're even the janitor. You need to leverage yourself. So your first person you hire to get rid of the paperwork and all that craziness is the admin. Well, you start building this structure, right, till you hit 7 levels, and it's you, admin, 2 admin. Now you bring on your first buyer's agent, because buyers take up some time, so on and so forth, all the way till you get the 7th level. Now you can pick up the book and get more detailed on this. Some of the pros is that literally this will teach you how to grow a real estate business, or any business. It is fantastic on teaching you how to grow business. It's got financial models in there. It's got leverage models in there. It's got a lot of fundamentals about business in there. The only con, and this is what led to the other 3 ways to grow a real estate team. Some of the cons is that you saw the 4th level was a buyer's agent, meaning that when you bring on another agent, now they're just going to run buyers. And what we found was that the buyer's agent want to run listings, but they can't. They're forced to do what they call the one thing. So it's limiting. So you're going to see agents who get frustrated in that buyer agency position, right? Also, you're going to see agents who want to market themselves. Obviously, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the 7-level system, is very heavily branded on whatever that one agent has created. Once you start bringing on talent and they start doing really well with this 7-level system, you're going to see that some want to brand themselves as well. So those might be some of the cons. Also, better be prepared for a lot of overhead and a lot of liability. As this 7-level system goes, at the 7th level, you've hired a CEO to take over the business for you. All right. Could you imagine the overhead when you hire a CEO on top of what they call a cost of sale for the commission splits between the buyer's agents and the listing specialists, along with the admin? So I'm not diving too deep into the 1st level, because there's literally a book on this. It's called the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. It's the Red Book. But we found, I only found a handful of agents who really hit that 7th level, and we knew that there were frustrations. So all we did was not ignore it and started to create other ways to grow a real estate team. We didn't want the overhead. We didn't want the liability. And we wanted the agents to decide if they wanted to run buyers or sellers, and which I'll show you on the 4th way to grow a real estate team. How can you allow the agent to create their own brand under your business? Yeah.
Now, question, and actually goes along with what you're talking about. Do you use Liondesk as your assistant, or did you hire one? Did you have them learn Liondesk to manage your team? So there's like a couple questions in that one.
Okay, so again, and I keep bringing this up, but this is literally how I started creating the business. If I die, I didn't want the overhead of an admin and the manager side of managing an admin in my business. So no, it's already system out. The follow-ups that we set within Liondesk alerts us on when and who we need to reach out to and for what reason. And let's see, we did 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, over 50 follow-ups this morning, and it took an hour. So there's not a lot of work that's put forward to it. We did not hire an admin. However, it is built that if I die, we have a virtual assistant ready that can jump in, take over, and run it as if I was still there. I hope that answered your question. Let me know if it did.
All right, going on. Move on to the next tip.
Yeah, no worries. Great questions, by the way. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. The second way to grow a real estate team. So again, kind of jumping off some of the cons that we saw with the 7-level system: overhead, liability, manager. You got to be the manager of this whole thing. By the way, talent constantly leaving because they want to build their own brand, or they want to run listings, or just buyers, or whatever. Now, the other one is the 4-level system. What is that? We beta tested everything on this, by the way. The 4-level system is something that a team here in our market is running. They're called the 5 Pillars Realty Group. And they're very, very investor heavy, and you're about to find out. 2 years in the business, closed almost 300 units. So this model works 100%. What it is, 4-level system. So let's walk through this. All right, new agent comes onto your team, and this agent right here is very interested in not only sales, but very interested in investing in real estate. This is the type of person you're looking for on this 4-level system. They come on. Now, what happens is they start to learn the business because they're mentored by the level 2 person, which is basically the mentor. Once level 1 starts to prove themselves, by the way, they can work buyers and sellers. Once they start to prove themselves, they move up to be a mentor. That now, this position right here, you learn more about real estate investing, but you've also leveraged yourself for the new agent that came on underneath you to run some of your deals, for you to watch how they're doing the business and basically train them. But level 2, you are learning, honestly, a mix of the buyer sell side, but also investing, buy and hold, flip, multifamily, BRRRR strategies, short-term rentals, long-term rentals, whatever you start learning it here. Now, what happens is once you move up, you move into more of a manager-ish position. And the manager's position, by the way, there's no book on this, so deal with my technical names, is now managing the mentor that moved up from the level 1, because now we have a newer agent who's coming in. As you're about to find out, this is a turning wheel of creating really great buyer-seller real estate agents, but turning them into investors to leave the business. Remember, our first way to grow a real estate team, these people are basically stuck in those positions. They're going to be a buyer's agent. They're going to be a listing specialist. They're going to be an admin. What's the exit strategy? This is an exit strategy. So they manage the mentors. The mentors are obviously watching the newer agents. Now here, you are doing investing. You are literally putting your cash to work and making sure that your ROI is good, your cash on cash returns are good. You're starting to hit passive income goals. You're going to our passive income masterminds. You are very focused on passive income by watching this person. You move up to here, now you have a choice. You have now enough cash flow to leave the business, continue the business, leave the team, or whatever that looks like. But now what you're doing is basically putting on events, or helping the team put on events to bring in more people, more talent, and you keep running this thing. But you have enough cash flow to work or not work. Now, what questions, if you do have any questions on this, it seems very simple right here. Here's some of the similarities of the first level. Brand heavy. All these people are pushing one brand, okay? Overhead. There's definitely going to be overhead because of the admin support that's behind this type of structure. Liability too, because it's all underneath the one brand. The big difference is that these agents can run a buyer or a seller, right? Also, they are being pushed, mentored, taught to leave real estate sales and become an investor. So I don't know if any questions came in on that one, but that's the 4-level system that we are running. All these agents do have a split with the team leader who has built this structure. And there is a once you hit a certain production, the split goes up and so on and so forth. They can cap. So there still is that kind of team split on this team. However, the whole point and the reason they put in the work and build that out is because that person doesn't want to be a real estate agent forever. They want to become an investor. They just know that the real estate sales side could bring in enough capital that they can leverage to invest in properties.
So we have one question, and of course, whoever this is, I can't see because it just says Facebook user. Let us know if it's the right question. It says, I'll show it. It says tips on brand building, one team view. So to me, it almost sounds like is there any tips that you can share on brand building for like a team perspective? I might be wrong. I don't know if you're getting the same card, if you think it's the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Tips on brand building, one team view. Yeah, if you could re-ask that question, just with a little bit more clarity, because I want to make sure that you get the answer you deserve. Yeah, just do that, because I'm kind of lost on what that means. If you could just ask that question one more time. All right, so that's it. That's that 4-level system. Some of the pros: not an agent, but an investor. Faster than the level 7, by the way. Way faster than the level 7. Agents benefit heavy off so if you have a revenue share or a profit share model, those agents can also benefit off that. With the investor mindset, all of that model makes sense to them. Some of the cons is that we're only looking for a specific agent. So it does limit the market. And you don't want all real estate agents. You want the real estate agent with an investor mindset. It also, the team lead, which we've seen, the team lead may want to keep this investor who now has enough cash flow. They may want to keep him on the team because they love him. But that is kind of the level 4, is that you give back to the community that helped you get to that point. So that could be a con. We've seen it come up to be a con, but at the same time, that 4th level person does stick around, puts on events. Like they got an event called Pints and Properties, where you drink beer and talk about real estate investing and this type of stuff, bigger pocket stuff. Just seeing if there's any questions. All right. One of the big, and then move it to the level 3. Another big concern of the level 1 was when agents join a team, what they start to realize really quickly is the split they have with the team, meaning they're watching how much money goes to the team versus them. And especially talent. They will break down those numbers and they will identify very quickly that there's a big chunk of their commission going to the team. And here's the deal. It's an investment, right? Because they now have to, the team leader now has to pay for admin, new signs, new marketing material, so that it is being put to use, but it's something that isn't ignored. And how long I've been doing this, I've seen that it becomes a frustration. So we said, how do we build a team to where the team members don't pay a split? And this is how we came up with the level 3. And the agent who has built this, because like I said, we beta tested it, doing fantastic. And the agents love it. So let me tell you what this is. This structure is very, very, very brand heavy. Okay. So keep that in mind. It is very brand heavy, meaning that this one's called Inspire Realty Group in our area. And that's the name. Okay. And this is what it looks like. So once they've identified what that brand is, this is what they do. Everybody who joins the team underneath the team leader now pushes that brand. If they take a listing, they put that listing sign out with that brand. When they do branding online, it's going to be that brand. No matter if this member brought that business or not, it doesn't matter. It's going to be pushed out on marketing material, and along with any listings taken, everyone uses that sign. With that sign and with those marketing materials is a certain phone number. That phone number is aligned with, let's say, 4 agents who are underneath this brand. So now it's a round robin of leads that come in. Now, here's the deal. These agents, what they could do is they can run buyers and sellers, so that eliminates that other frustration. There is no team split, but yet they're getting team leads. There is, we start off with what was an honor code, but now we're moving to an Excel spreadsheet. Once these agents receive a lead from those signs, from those marketing material, from being round robin and collecting those leads on all that marketing material, they run the lead, whoever it is. Now, once they close the lead that came off the marketing material, they give 10 to 20% from that lead back to the team lead, who puts all that money in. Just imagine a pot. It goes into a bank account, but just imagine this pot. So now what they do is any lead that comes off that marketing material, there is that referral fee that comes in. So that 10 or 20%, 10 to 20%, but the money's going into a pot. I'm going to tell you what this pot does here in a second. So if this person brings on a lead that didn't come from any of the marketing material, they're not paying a split on the team. They brought the lead. They don't pay a split. They take the full commission. The only way they're paying a referral fee is if it came off the marketing material from that phone number. So remember, all this money is going into a pot. Now, quarterly, the team lead, or the owner of this team, of this brand, basically, gets this money. They do take a percent out for them. They've created this. They took the risk on this. They have the liability on this. But the remaining, what they do is they use that money for client appreciation parties, more marketing material, because the larger this brand gets, the more leads come in through the phone numbers, the more leads closed on the more leads that are closed with these agents, more money back into the pot, and it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And like I said, last year they did fantastic. They are what's called an icon team or an icon agent with EXP, meaning they did really well. They got their cat back in the form of stock. So that has really worked because it eliminated the agent frustration from paying splits. Some of the pros and cons on this. And again, let me know if you have any questions. Pro is that the team members don't pay any splits. So if you ever hear an agent who's frustrated because they're on a team and they're like, man, 50% of my commission goes to the agent or to the team lead or to the brand, and I brought the business. That type of structure doesn't. You can have full commission on that. So that is a pro. The con is that team lead person running that brand isn't going to bring in as much cash flow as another team that does that 50% thing, but they're also not going to have as much turnover. They're not going to have as much turnover, at least what we've seen. Literally, I want to say maybe one agent left in a year, and that's crazy in terms of that first team that I talked to you about, that 7-level team. There's turnover because of the frustrations that you can have. And the agent might want to brand themselves, which is another con, because remember, this is very, very, very brand heavy. Any questions that came up so far? And if this is like too much, maybe too broad, ask the question so I can go in greater detail on something specific that you have a question about.
So there was one. It's not specifically regarding the tips. They were actually wondering, it might be from earlier today, do you have any shared templates in Liondesk I can check out for my text and follow-ups?
I do have shared templates. So yeah, I don't know if I could send it to you, Jessica, maybe, and it gets sent out. But whatever that call to action is for you guys to make sure you get that lead too, because the only way you got to put in that information, and then we can send it out. But yeah, we do. Yeah, absolutely, we do.
Share with me. We can either make it, or you can actually go in Liondesk. For those that didn't know, that's a great question someone asked. We have shared templates, which not a lot of CRMs do have access to. We have a couple thousand available to you. Some, of course, are from us that we provided for you guys. Some are from other users like Ruben that he has, where you can get access to. Some of them you just have to ask the question, like they'll say, email me and I'll give you access. Others, just download right then and there, and it goes right inside your templates. So I'm assuming, Ruben, yours are probably, they have to email you to get access to them?
Yeah.
Are they pretty available right then and there the second they download?
You might have to teach me that, and I will absolutely share them. No worries at all.
I'll do that. So you guys just stay tuned. I will make sure to add the information in the comments from our live today, so that way you know how to access that texting template that he has that you guys can take advantage of.
That's what I'm talking about. Just take action on it. Don't get it for free and not use it. That's all I ask.
Exactly.
All right. So if you're following with me throughout all of this so far, thank you. Real quick before we hit the 4th level, we talked about the 7-level system, MREA, Millionaire Real Estate Agent System, the 4-level system where you turn this agent basically into an investor with enough cash flow to be in the business or not. 3rd way, very brand heavy. but it does allow the agent to not pay splits with the team, only a referral when it's built, when they get a lead off the marketing material, which has worked out really well. And then number 4, this is the world I run. It's called the Pass Play, Prospecting Automated Sales System. And if you've heard me, I've said, hey, does it run if I'm dead? Hey, does it run if I'm dead? Hey, and the whole reason behind that is because real estate's very, 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 very active. And if you are the source of income for your family, then it's kind of irresponsible for you not to create something that still brings in cash flow if you pass away, if you're the breadwinner, right? So this is what basically got us started on what does this Pass Play look like. In the Pass Play, so you heard me, the first one, brand heavy. Second one, brand heavy. Third one, brand heavy. Fourth, not brand heavy. Not brand heavy at all, right? Because once we realized that if we could take away the brand from hitting the real estate sales field, meaning marketing material, meaning signs, then I also escaped the liability. We knew we didn't want any liability on my family in case I passed away, right? My wife doesn't want to deal with that mess, and I don't blame her. So I said, all right, get rid of the name. Now, how do we get rid of overhead? And this is what we do. When we use Liondesk every morning to do this, when we reach out to our database and through the systematic way that we've built, we will get a referral. Last month we ran it 8-to-1. So with every contact we made, 8 of those contacts, we actually got a piece of business. So we run it 8-to-1 right now. And industry standard is 20-to-1. So thank you, Liondesk. So it's very, very high. Once we get that lead, what we do is we have identified an agent who is going to execute our deals, but they're going to build their own brand. So we get the referral, we pass it to the agent in our field, in our market, and it could be all over the nation, but you're obviously going to do more in your local market. The agent goes and executes that deal. Now what happens is they go out and say it's a listing. They put their sign in the yard. They use their marketing material. The money for photographers, the money for their transaction coordinator, their listing coordinator. I don't deal with any of that. So what we've done is escape the overhead of the real estate business, but we're still creating real estate business without the liability and the overhead. Okay? These are 2 things we looked at. Now, brand is still kind of important. So what we've done is when that agent goes out there and executes that deal, we do 30% or higher referral fee, which is another way we escape liability because their commission and our association only sees me as a referral agent. They go out there, they execute the deal. If they do closing pictures like with the clients or anything like this, then they have to put their brand, whatever their brand is, but then they put powered by, proven by Ruben. So it's just a quick reminder to the market of where this lead came from, that they're powered by me, but it just keeps my name going to keep more people having conversation about it. So there is that piece. Another piece is when they do go out in the field and they execute that deal for me, they have to put me in a group text. So the client feels way better, right? Because I'm still part of the deal. And the client or the agent, there's a little bit more accountability of the rate of conversation, the professionalism, because I'm also in the group text. So once it goes under contract, we have something in Liondesk that keeps communication with them to pull out more referrals to keep running this lead or to keep running this Pass Play. We bring them in, we talk to the database, we pull the referrals, pass to an agent to execute the deal. We get a 30% referral. But also on top of that, I'm with the EXP, so we get the revenue share. When they close their first deal, we get free stock. When we close our first deal, we get free stock. If it's somebody in my mentorship program, then I get 10% of the deal. So it could potentially be a five hits on just one transaction with me escaping the liability, the overhead, and almost 100% leveraged. If I die, it will be 100% leveraged because a virtual assistant would take over the follow-up in the morning. That takes about an hour and some change. So we call it the Pass Play. Pros, it is very low overhead, if any. Very low liability, which is another reason why we looked at Liondesk is the overhead part. Very low liability. and very, 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 very highly leveraged. Some of the cons, you're only looking about that 30% commission that you're going to get on that deal, but it does free up more time for you to do some of the things that you love outside of real estate, or just keep beating up the database and building out the database to pull more referrals to close more deals. I mean, the way that we run it is very passive, almost a passive income source. Last month, we closed 6 deals. It looks like we're going to close about the same this month, and we're closing them in different states. Us being in Fort Bragg, Fayetteville, North Carolina, we have people who PCS or move, and now what we're doing is sending referrals in different area codes that have higher closing rates, where the 30% is a much higher margin for us, but really high margin because we run a high net. We don't run overhead, right? I mean, so anyways, I know that's again very broad. I'm trying to be respectful of time and answer Q&A, but that's the 4th way that we have found to grow a real estate business. Level 7, brand heavy, right? A lot of overhead, a lot of liability. Takes a while to hit a level 7. I could probably put a handful of people who's actually hit level 7, and it's in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. This one, 4th level, the second one. Now that one happens a lot faster, very brand heavy. You will have overhead and you will have liability, but you're turning agents into investors. This one, you are brand heavy, but the agents have no commission split on your team on all of their deals, and they can work both buyer and seller. Still have overhead, still have liability. In the past play, no overhead, basically, no liability, and almost 100% leveraged, and about an hour and some change a day, and you can have the whole day to yourself to focus on growing that business, creating more opportunity for you and your agents. I don't know, golf, whatever else you enjoy, but it's definitely way more leverage and is an exit strategy for any agent who wants to get out of the field, doesn't have time to be in the field, dual career agents, and people who just want to spend more time at home. I hope that answered it. Okay, you're mute. Hey, so listen, we tried something different. Dare to be different, dare to try. So, Jessica, I'm with you. So, am I the host?
Nope, there you go. Can you hear me?
I thought I took your job. Dang.
I know you should have. No, you totally can. So, no, talking about technology, my computer froze, so I tried to do it from my phone, and it just didn't work. And then all of a sudden, miraculously, it worked. So, the tips are great. I think everybody, I speak for everybody, that in order to really build a real estate team, you need to take your business to the next level. And in order to do that, these 4 tips are going to help you get there. Of course, Ruben has done all the beta testing on it. Him and his team have seen what works, what doesn't. So these are proven facts that are something that you can jump on. And you guys, if you're going to jump on it, do it. That is the biggest thing that we share. We always want to share tips for you guys, but unless you try it, this isn't useful to you.
What's the point?
Right? So we hope that you guys enjoyed. I don't see any more questions. Before we hop off, if you do, really quick, just let us know. Ruben, thank you for taking the time and sharing stuff with us today, and giving us insight on stuff that you have proven Ruben has figured out.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions, hit me up at Proven by Ruben on, I don't know, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, like everything. Proven by Ruben, and that way I can answer the questions, especially if it's a little bit more in detail with some of this. But I want to cover it all, kind of give you the overall view of what all of these look like, and just let you know you have choices, guys. You have choices to grow a real estate team. You don't have to follow one model. You have choices to build it to the vision that you want to create, period.
Love that. Thanks, Ruben, for your time, and thank you for letting us learn.
You're welcome.